Hello everybody, welcome to the dojo. In today's video I will be building a Shikorogatana, which is one of the many weapons in the ancient art of Kienzan Jutsu. Now, unlike the blade of the sword, or the might of the tricone mace, the Kienzan Jutsu uses the destructive power of the bladed disc. So I will be showing how to make a very affordable and easy to make Shikorogatana. Yo, what's up guys? So we're here at the hardware store looking for circular saws, and the ones that I had here, the ones that I had planned for in the book, I had actually calculated for a 6.5 inch, which are these ones down here, but they're $8. And these ones that are 7.25 are $6. So instead of doing this one, I'm gonna go for this one. Alright guys, so now I'm looking at the metal. These here are only $5. But if you look at them, they actually wiggle. I found these ones here that are aluminum for $8. But the shape of them makes them so they don't wiggle as much. If you took them like that, I'm taking these discs and I'm sanding them down for this nice metal finish. Some of these were left some red. I left that because I think it looks pretty cool to just have some of these red stains on it left over. The way that I'm assembling it, I have these three main blades here on this bottom level, and then I'm gonna stack these two blades on top, and then I'll lay this one on top like so, and then these will get washers. So this is what the main blade portion is gonna look like. I painted these washers here, and I painted these aluminum pieces here, support here, so they're kind of like metal colored. And then this is the final handle shape. This front part here where it supports the blade is a lot thicker, and then it thins down, and then I have this pommel section here. This is two pieces. I taped them together so I could get them in symmetry, and it's actually very agile. Last time I did a test fit of the blades, and this piece of aluminum bent here, so I got this piece of steel here, and that's just gonna support the collar of the blade here, about like that. And I'm gonna bolt it through the tang here. I'm just gonna add a little bit of epoxy resin inside of these spaces here, and that's gonna hold these blades into this position here. And why that's important is so that when I'm doing the strikes, this whole blade will be one unit, and they won't be able to spin, and they won't be able to shift. So this Sharpie mark here that I made, I'm gonna have to drill a hole, because that's where I'm gonna pin everything together at the end. So this is my drill setup. I'll just be using this hand drill. I'll be drilling this hole here. I got Puppy Dog giving me some love. This is Chevy. This tang hole here goes all the way through, and it lines up with this piece in the wood. And if you look at the cross section, it's very thin, so I think it'll be a really good cutter. It's kind of heavy, but I mean, it's not really that heavy. I can lift it with just one hand and get some good swings in there. Right here there's a little bit of gap, so I cut these pieces of wood, epoxy these pieces of wood in here like that. I got the blades bolted down, I got the handle shaped. I have these brass nails in here that go all the way through. Reason why I used these brass nails here instead of steel is just like with a vehicle, you have the solid frame, and so the tang is like the solid frame of the vehicle, and these brass nails here would be like the shocks. So if I use steel here, they wouldn't be able to flex and bend. And we want to have a little bit of flex here and bend in the structure. I have these vinyl strips that I cut out from an old bag, and I got this 94% cotton, 6% polyester. And what I'm gonna do is going to epoxy the vinyl onto the handle, and then I'm going to do a traditional katana wrap. So I hope you like watching how to build a very cheap and a very easy to make Shikorogatana, and a little bit about the history of its destructive power. This is the final product. It's extremely sharp, and even though for the blade length of it, I'm actually happy with the overall speed of it. It's still very fast in the hand, and it is very lethal actually. It's thinner than a katana blade. It's actually thinner than most swords. So here's a closer look. The blade length is a little bit over 27 inches, and there's about a little bit over 11 inches of handle space here. And even for its size, it's very fast in the hand. Even one hand wielding, it's very fast. That's because of how thin it is. The way that I was able to achieve how thin this blade is that sections of blade being made from a short piece of steel that's already hardened and pre-sharpened for me, it essentially makes each part of the striking blade stiffer. Just as a longer barrel of a rifle would have more flex to it, and so overall a shorter barrel tends to be more accurate. That makes the blade overall stiffer. Another thing I did is that I overlapped them here. This overlapping gives them extra strength and stability. And the last part of its strength is that it is a full tang. The tang goes all the way through. The handle, it's bolted on all the way through. I was able to achieve a very thin blade. Now that was crucial to me because I've been wanting to try a Shikorogatana for a very long time, but I was worried that the blade, it'd be hard to find a way to make it with a thin blade. Now you can buy these already online, but they're around $600 or $800. So keep that in mind. And remember, it cuts both ways on both strikes and on the thrust. The Shikorogatana is known for its destructive power, and I can tell you that it has a lot of destructive power. It's hard to even hold the blade anywhere. It really wants to bite the way that these teeth are. So another thing that I want to do real quick is just do a quick size comparison. Here is the katana that I made for the channel, and as you can see, just a quick, you can see that the blade is much bigger compared to the Chris sword. This will be my first time trying Kienzan Jutsu, so bear with me. And this is also my first time wielding a Shikorogatana. So I'm going to get the cutting test set up and we'll see what it does. So I have my cutting stand set up here with 3 pumpkins, and these are huge pumpkins. Don't let the aspect ratio fool you. These are full-size pumpkins here. They're very, very thick. In fact, I see people smashing pumpkins, and these are not the regular pumpkins. These are not smashing pumpkins. So I have actually a little bit of a bad feeling about this. So in true Kienzan fashion, we glanced and missed the first shot, so we're going to try again. The blade did hold up, and that was a hard shot. Like I said, these are really hard. It did make a really clean cut, so that's a really good sign. Now let's just see if we can get on target. Alright guys, so we got through one pumpkin and we actually did cut quite deep into the second pumpkin and we knocked the third pumpkin completely off. That's a very clean cut. So there is a little bit of warping to the blade, but I'm pretty sure I can get that out. So these pumpkins are very thick. I don't know if you can see how thick these are, but a highly effective melee weapon. Do a comparison and see how the cuts are similar or different. This katana sword is superior in most ways to the Shikorogatana, but it wasn't even able to penetrate. The blade wasn't even able to penetrate the very top. That's how deep. You can see it try to cut, but it couldn't even penetrate just that much. A little bit disappointed that the katana did not make it through. So I'm gonna try again. It did split on impact. So I don't want that to affect the result. So I put the split on the back side. Again, it was not able to go all the way through cleanly. Is this the destructive sword that it lives up to in Shikorogatana? I think that it is. I think these clean cuts and the sheer slicing and chopping power and just the weight of it, swinging this around, wielding it, is proof that the Shikorogatana is a viable sword. Now this is just a cheap and easy way to build one if you got $40 and 6 hours of time, but it's highly recommended to build. So I think just that proves that the Shikorogatana lives up to its reputation as the most destructive sword. So thank you for watching my video. I hope you liked it. Leave a comment, and I hope that you have a safe and happy Halloween. Thank you. Good night.